Yeah, it would have been a lot better with I'm half tempted to just start getting some of the interviews knocked.
Okay. Welcome in, everybody. We're going to be going hot and live real quick here. Sorry about the audio. Sam's walking around with a mic. All right, Sam is walking up to the podium to talk to a couple of the folks, so we're going to get zoomed in and kind of.
All right, you can hear me, you can see me?
Yes, sir.
All right, we're going live?
Yep, we already are. Yeah, he can't hear me.
1 second before, okay? We're going to start with you. All right. Ryan? Okay. And we're live? Okay. All right. We are live here with Hall of Fame inductee Dylan Wessel. Dylan went to Jefferson High School. Dylan, how are you doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So one of the things we wanted to kind of talk to you guys today about is what it means to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And if you have any memories that you can remember or, just, good things that happened when you were at Jefferson.
Yeah, there's a lot of good memories. It's awesome. Great honor to be, in the company of everybody here. Just a lot of hard work that went into it, kind of brings me back. It's been a long time since I had any dealings with football, since I was at Edinburgh. It's been about 15 years, and it's just cool to be in the same room. I remember 20 years ago when I was in this room, just like these guys are. Greatest story for me was we were finally able to bring a NEC championship to Jefferson when I was there, so that was pretty cool. Nothing that ever hadn't happened before. So for me, that was the most meaningful and memorable thing.
Awesome, awesome. Now, what position did you play?
Played middle linebacker and running back.
All right, so we had a head hitter over here. Dylan, congratulations on your induction. All right, gonna go quiet for a minute.
So coming up here, Sam is going to be talking.
Ryan, you ready? Going live? All right. Moving down the line, we're going to go to Mike Meany, who is an Edgewood High School inductee. Congratulations on your induction first, Mr. Meany.
Thank you. Enjoy being here.
So what are some of the things that you can remember that, like your big moments at Edgewood or, kind of what it means to be here?
It's great being here. It took me 20 minutes to even walk through the crowd with some of the faces, coaches. Terry Miller-Agnew, who is my position coach, is being inducted, sitting right next to me. Can't get any better than this.
What year did you graduate, sir, if you don't mind me asking?
1980.
1980 graduate.
Yeah, sorry.
Just a couple, that's all right. Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Fame, and what are some of the things that you remember fondly?
Well, I'll tell you, I really am happy to be put into the Hall of Fame right now. It's been a long time since I graduated in 1964. Well, I had a lot of memories. We've been talking about a number of these things right now. Mike Meany, he was my coach on the field. When I was coaching him, I said, Mike, we got to do this, okay, and he'd get it changed on the field. So this is the way it went most of the time. But yeah, I just really enjoyed coming through, like Mike said, coming through the crowd, and some of my players are here. All my coaches are gone, so my days. Yeah, that's really about it.
All right, well, thank you very much, sir, and congratulations on your induction. Mr. Sandedge. I'm here with Otis Sandedge, who's being inducted into the Hall of Fame this year as well. Mr. Sandedge, congratulations on your induction. What are some of the things you can remember and some of your favorite, your favorite times as an Ashtabula Panther?
Well, my biggest memory was playing against some fellows like Denny Allen, who played for St. John's here. Of course, went on to play at Notre Dame and did a great job down there too. What a lot of people don't realize is that those guys on defense played linebacker. And I was an offensive guard and the linebacker defensively too. So that's where my battle was at when I was on offense, blocking those great guys on defense. And not only marked Denny Allen, but also Mark DeBevick, who played against him. Both of those guys graduated in '67 like I did. And he also played middle linebacker on defense. But again, it was just an honor to play. I mean, back when we played, football was a big thing. We at Ashtabula, we would run home games. We would run 100 kids out on that field on our team, at home. Of course, we couldn't take them on an away game because we only had one bus where we had to take the cheerleaders, the equipment, and everything else on. But it's just such an honor to be here with these guys and to be able to be put into this club. It's an extreme honor.
Well, it's an honor to get to watch you on your induction, and congratulations again. Thank you. All right, go mute for a minute.
.440 Goal welcomes in-combine sponsor from Allstate Kristen Dobbins-Beck-Barger. Kristen and her team offer auto, home, renters, and various other insurance policies. Visit Kristen at 4605 Main Avenue in beautiful Ashtabula, Ohio, or contact Kristen at 440-993-0256.
All right, and we are back here. I'm with Stephen Lanham, who is the grandson of inductee George Adams from Conneaut. Stephen, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Very well. We get to cover this great event, so it's a great day. You are here because your grandfather is no longer with us this year. So, what's it mean to kind of get to accept this award, in his honor?
It's an honor and a privilege. He did not want anything to do with any sort of recognition when he was alive, and they finally inducted him. So it's a true honor and blessing that I get to be here in his name.
So normally I'm asking these guys some of the stuff they remember from on the field, but yours is special. So what are some of the things you remember hearing or learning about your grandfather?
My most memorable story was he was playing a game and they put him in as fullback with a bleeding head. Back then they had leather helmets and no pads, so he had a bleeding head, a broken hand, and a sponge wrapped around his knee, and ran the ball in for a touchdown to win the game.
They were a different breed back then. Thank you so much, and congratulations. Next up is Mark Wagner from Harbor High School. Some of the people watching this, the younger ones, might not even know where that is anymore.
It's not around anymore.
Mr. Wagner, first of all, congratulations on your induction today. And some of the things we wanted to ask everybody as we're going down the line are, what are some of the, the moments you can remember, big moments for you, and what's it mean to be inducted into the Ashtabula County Touchdown Hall of Fame?
It's complete honor. I had no idea that I'd be sitting here getting this award. And the most memorable, you're talking about high school?
Yeah.
Well, going 10-0 during our football season in 1971. It's been 50 years since this day.
Well, 10-0 is certainly something to be proud of, and congratulations on your induction, sir. Go mute, Ryan. Ryan, I am ready when you are, and we're good. All right, moving down the line, we are here with Lou Adams from Pymatuning Valley. We spend a lot of time down in Andover, so it's very good to get to see a Laker getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. First of all, sir, congratulations on your induction. What are some of the things you can remember, and what's it mean to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, thank you very much. It's a great honor and privilege to represent the Pymatuning Valley Gold Pride Lakers. And what I think I remember most, unquestionably, is the relationships. Right, those relationships forged in the weight room and on the football still endure nearly 40 years later.
Outstanding, outstanding. Well, sir, congratulations again on your induction, and thanks for taking some time.
Thanks.
Said quite a bit, so that name sticks around here, as I believe Grant Hitchcock is your grandson. So Mr. Hitchcock being inducted, can you tell us some of your favorite memories and what it means for you to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, my favorite memory is the fact that in 1970, I had the opportunity to gather with a group of guys that started this club. And I feel very fortunate that I'm still here, number one. And number two, I'm happy to see the crowd that we're still having.
Well, it is truly an honor to meet some of the, one of the people who started this as, you know, it's a big deal to us too. This is a dream come true for us to come out here and be a part of this, and without people like you, we wouldn't be here. So thank you very much, sir, and congratulations again. All right, and I'm here with Pat Mooney from Grand Valley, great running back from the Mustangs. First of all, sir, congratulations on your induction into the Touchdown Club Hall of Fame. We would just like to hear about some of the, your greatest memories, and then also what it means to be part of this award ceremony.
Well, it's certainly humbling to be here. I feel just looking at the overall scope of, coming through, I was very fortunate and blessed to be a part of a group that had amazing coaches and players along. So to receive an individual award when there was 10 other guys lining up next to me all the time is very humbling. So the whole experience was just phenomenal for me coming through, and couldn't be more grateful to be a part of the group.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time with us. Congratulations on your induction. This is who we got for right now. We got a couple people that are come behind, and we'll get those as they come in. This is Sam from 440 on Gold. We'll see you guys soon.
So as you guys can see, Sam just got done doing a couple interviews. He's making his way back up to the booth, and I do believe the festivities are going to get started here momentarily.
What's up, Mama?
See if I can, clicked him off real quick, but the festivities should be getting started here momentarily. So stay tuned. I'm going to try to get some audio in the background, but don't forget, if you're over on Facebook, share and like the stream. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. We'll talk to you here shortly.
Jason Perkins.
Bill, I just had to say hey. All right, I am here with Jason Perkins of Geneva,
Yes.
who is being inducted into the Hall of Fame today. First of all, sir, congratulations on your induction.
Appreciate it.
So one of the things we've been asking everybody, or just also, what does it mean to be inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, well, I just remember my coaches, my teachers, my teammates, just awesome men, awesome guys that I trained with, just battling, fighting, training hard, being in the weight room, grinding it out, and just having fun and being taught how to be a better person, how to work hard, how to get gritty, how to win, but how to be gracious in defeat and victory, and then to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna get my hard work just to show it off a little bit, but I had the Jim Kinnicky Award. I was also Golden Helmet Award winner, and now this kind of tops it off. So, I've been inducted into the Hall of Fame for Edinburgh University, Pennsylvania. I played in Europe, and I've been inducted into the Argonauts, Aix-en-Provence Argonauts Hall of Fame. So this is the hat trick for me. So it feels freaking really good.
Well, you know what, sir? Congratulations on all your success as well as your induction. Thank you for telling me that, because that means the power supply is not working. All right. I am here with the man, the myth, the legend, Elijah Cooper. Now, I knew quite a few of the Hall of Famers that were up here today, but this one, like I said, it hits a little bit different. This is a neighborhood friend, a school friend. I've known him as long as I've known most people. And so first and foremost, congratulations on well-deserved Hall of Fame induction. He epitomizes what I believe is a Hall of Famer here in Ashtabula County. What we're talking about, some of your big moments that you can remember, and also just what it means to be inducted.
Well, I'll tell anybody that'll listen. When you play the game, you don't you don't really set out to make the Hall of Fame. You kind of play the game because you love it, you're passionate about it, and you just want to be the best you can be. So I'll tell anybody that's going to listen tonight and going forward that being in the Hall of Fame is not about me. It's really about the sacrifices that my teammates made in order for me to shine, really. So being the ultimate team guy, I think this is a team award. Yes, one guy gets in, I get to go in, but I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure my teammates realize that this isn't just about me, it's about them as well.
And that's right on par with Elijah. As long as I've known you, that's what you've been. It's about the we, not the me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's one of the reasons why you are in the position you are now as a head coach and getting these guys on the right path. And I just want to tell you from us and from me personally, congratulations, brother.
Hey, thank you very much, man. You
Yes,
guys
sir.
were around. So we're grinding together. So when you talk about, again, an award that, goes to an individual, there's so many people that are wrapped up and tied up and tangled up in my success that there's no way I could stand up there as myself. I'm standing up there as a representative of a lot of different people, and I wouldn't have it any other way because I couldn't be here without them. Yes, I made sacrifices, but it pales in comparison to what my offensive lineman did, what my defensive lineman did, what defense did in general, getting me the ball back and all those things. So I'm forever grateful. Yes, I'm extremely happy to be here, but also it's beautiful to me to be able to represent other people and also to give them that credit too. And I plan to do that during my speech.
Outstanding. Well, I know you're busy because you're a popular guy. So congratulations again. I appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Thanks, baby brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, guys, thanks everyone for tuning in. So here momentarily, I do believe the ceremony is going to get started. It is scheduled to start at 4:30. I'm just going to leave the video feed up, obviously, so you guys can see everyone and what's going on. But just about everyone's here. I don't believe we're waiting on anybody. You just got to witness some of the fun of being able to interview the Hall of Fame inductees. And joining me now is Sam.
I am. Oh, I feel like that's a little bit loud. I'll quiet down.
You're good. Go ahead.
All right, I am coming up those stairs after catching all these Hall of Famers, and it really is. It's just an honor and it's a privilege for us to get out here and get a chance to talk to some of these people. Some of these names I know for sure. Otis Sandedge, George Adams is another name I know. Pat Mooney. When we updated all the records lists.
Yeah.
You find his name all over there from Grand Valley. Obviously, growing up, a childhood friend with Elijah Juan Cooper, that's one of the coolest things for me, getting to see his induction in here. Because I know, just like how hard he worked and, on and off the field. And this is somebody who has achieved. So it's really just phenomenal to get to see that and, getting to learn some of the stories of the people from the past. Mark Wagner being inducted to the Touchdown Hall of Fame, but he's also a Major League Baseball player. This is a guy who played for the Detroit Tigers.
Right.
So, just a true blue athlete. It's really cool to, get to learn some of these people and get to hear their stories and be a part of their journey into this Banquet Hall of Fame.
Ring of Honor, call it whatever you want to call it, but it's a lot of fun. This is my first time ever attending this event, and luckily, shout out to Steve Cray. I don't know if he's the president, but I'm not sure.
No, he's on the board.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody on the board for that matter.
Yeah.
For allowing us to come in and do this.
Yeah. So this is a very exciting evening.
All right, we had to, a quick.
Right, Sammy can't just be the interview guy. He just wants to come around and have fun. And yeah, anyways, very exciting evening here in beautiful downtown Ashtabula, Ohio. We're at the Andrus Party Center here, and everyone is filing in. We're gonna give ourselves a quick break. Run a few of our sponsors.
Before we go, though, I do want to remind everybody tonight's special guest speaker, Dean Hood, who is the head coach of Murray State University, is going to be our guest speaker. He's going to be introduced by the great Bob Hitchcock, who I talked to down there, who's one of this, one of the founding fathers, I guess you would call it, of this. So that's something you're really going to want to pay attention for. Get this shared out. I think this is something that people should see, and it's truly a special event, and I do know that I'm privy to some information about a special
Good afternoon, everyone. If you
portion that's going to be happening during Elijah Juan's time.
Well, no ads. Mr. Cray is up at the podium, so let's go ahead and kick it right over to him.
First of all, we'd like to welcome everyone to the 52nd Annual Ashtabula County Touchdown Club Awards Banquet. We would like to congratulate some groups of people. First, our 2021 Hall of Fame inductees, our 2021 Ashtabula County First Team All-County players, our 2021 Whisey Player of the Year nominees. And we'd also like to send a shout out to Lakeside High School and Pymatuning Valley High School for their playoff berth this past season. Once again, congratulations to all of those individuals. Before we get started, we do have a few thank yous to throw out. First, all the awards on the Whisey nominee tables and all of our first team awards and award winners. We'd like to thank Play All Awards and Engraving and Rob Rich for his hard work on those awards. We would like to thank the Star Beacon for their hard work on the tab insert that was in the paper over Thanksgiving holiday. And of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't thank Chris Larrick for all of his hard work summarizing those tribute articles. So let's give Chris a nice big round of applause. We'd also like to thank the Andrews Party Center and the Welton family for their hospitality and dinner this evening. The programs that are on your tables, Anne Marie Mahokey and Mohawk Paper for the creation of this year's program once again. I would also like to thank Jared Dixon and Jimmy Chicaro for the copies of those programs from Copy World. Upstairs, you really can't see them too well, but this is the first year we've had this ceremony broadcast live, so this is streaming on Facebook and YouTube. We'd like to thank 440 and Goal for everything they've done this past fall season, supporting our student athletes, but also broadcasting this event for many that could not attend. So thank you to 440 and Goal, Ryan Cole, Sam Torres, who are up in the bird's nest up there. I know they're waving, but I don't think you guys can see them. Lastly, obviously this is an outstanding turnout. It's been a very troubling, I think, 22 months here in our nation. So we'd like to thank everybody in here for everything that you've done to support our student athletes, Hall of Fame inductees, for making this a very successful sports season. Before we get started with our invocation, we'd like to take this time to honor the late Ashtabula County football coach, Mr. Michael Clancy. Mike recently lost his battle with cancer this past week. He was an employee of the Conneaut local schools as a shop teacher for 35 years. He was an avid outdoorsman and great with his wood shop. He mostly recently was coaching football, offensive line coach at Edgewood. He also coached football at Conneaut High School throughout his career. Mike loved his time with his student athletes and loved coaching and impacting lives. And anybody who knew Mike knew that he's very passionate about what he did, but was always very hardworking and always willing to stop whatever he was doing to help a friend. Mike was a great man. He will be definitely missed in our Ashtabula County football family, as well as personally in each and every one of our families. At this time, we'd like to take a time to honor Mike and his family with a brief moment of silence. Thank you. Next up, I'm going to call up the St. John head football coach, Robert Delgosh, for our invocation.
Thank you. Let us please bow our heads in prayer. Good and gracious God, as so many of your people around the world give thanks and celebrate this Sunday, as Hanukkah nears its joyful end and the peace-focused second week of Advent begins, let us also give thanks that you brought this particular community together this evening to celebrate the instrument you have used to give each of us so much, the game of football. Thank you for these exceptional young people that we will honor tonight, their teammates, coaches, parents, and so many others who have had an impact on them. We thank you also for the Hall of Fame inductees who have set the example and paved the way for these young people and many more generations to come. We pray this knowing that all of the glory belongs to you and you alone, Almighty God. Shalom and Amen.
It's my pleasure up here to introduce our guest speaker today. And it's also, I think, in my mind, a very special day for you seniors who are graduating. And special in this way. All of you had great, you hope, great high school careers this year. Some of you might have an opportunity and a dream of going on and playing college football or even further. And the gentleman that I'm going to introduce to you today can give you some great insights, as at one time he was sitting in the same seat that you seniors are here in Ashtabula County High School football. It was 40 years ago that Dean Hood sat in the seat that you seniors are in today. He was an Ashtabula County first team football player and was honored such in the Ashtabula County Hall of Fame. Later in his life, after graduating from Harbor High School, he went on to play at Ohio Wesleyan. He became a three-time first-teamer, an All-Northeast Athletic Conference selection, an All-American his senior year, and he's a member of Ohio Wesleyan's Hall of Fame. He then went on to go and serve as an assistant coach at many universities: Fairmont State, Colgate, Glenville, Eastern Kentucky, Ohio University, and Wake Forest. He's also been named this past year the College Coach of the Year, and he is now the head coach at Murray State. It's my privilege, and let's give a warm welcome to our speaker today, Coach Dean Hood.
There was a guy that was getting ready to speak to a crowd, and he was a little bit nervous, so he was, really practicing, making sure that he had the speech right, and worked on it all day, and it was time to get ready for the banquet and go speak, and he's shaving, and while he's shaving, he's looking down at his notes, and trying to make sure he gets everything right, and he's really not paying attention, and he cuts himself. He's like, oh, so he does like a lot of us men have done. He just got a little, tissue paper and put that on there and kept studying his notes and, finished getting ready and, forgot that was on there. And he goes and he's giving his speech, and it was pretty lengthy. Got to be kind of long, and some of the younger people in the crowd, started fidgeting a little bit, and he finally got done. Northeast Ohio. You're from Youngstown, okay? I'm from Northeast Ohio, but I have a lot of pride. There's a lot of Northeast Ohio, Ashtabula in the fabric of my makeup, and I take a lot of pride in that. It's a hardworking community, a group of guys that care about their family. Real men like my dad that worked 40 plus years in a factory and supported his family, and he is the shoulders that I'm standing on to get to where I'm at. And that's the community that I was a part of, and I carry that with me. It's a pride. So coming back here, anytime anybody asks me something for Ashtabula, the answer is yes. To the coaches, I'd just like to say, that you guys have a lot of influence as coaches. I think we need to be reminded of that sometimes. I'll never forget my oldest son Trey. He decided he wanted to play middle school football. And I said, okay, what position you want to play? Oh, Dad, well, you were a tight end. Your brother was a tight end. Play tight end. Like, all right. So we go out and we're throwing the ball out in the front yard, and talking to him about catching a ball and, just reminding him, hey, you catch that ball now, you got to tuck it. That ball's important. That ball's valuable. Make sure every time I throw you the ball, you catch it and tuck it. And, I'd throw him the ball and he'd forget. He wouldn't tuck it. I have to remind him, hey, Trey, you got to tuck that. You got to tuck that. So, this went on for quite a while. Well, then he ends up, going out and playing middle school football. And he has his first practice. And they put him at tight end. And he comes out and the next day he says, hey, Dad, you want to go out in the yard and play some catch? I said, yeah, okay, Trey, let's go out there and play some catch. And I threw him the ball. Man, he caught it, and boom, he tucks that ball. I was like, wow, that's awesome. All right, so he throws it back. I throw it back to him. He catches it, bam, he tucks that ball. I was like, Trey, that's awesome how, consistently you're catching the ball and tucking. He says, yeah, Coach says that ball's valuable, and I got to make sure that thing's a program. I got to protect it, and every time I catch that ball. Like, okay, Coach says is a powerful thing. Coach says is so powerful. I'll never forget being at Black Mountain Coaches Camp, and I had a friend of mine, Clyde Christensen, come down and said, hey, do you want to go see Coach Reverend Billy Graham? He lived in Montreat, which was just 9 miles from our camp. Do you want to go see Billy? I want to go see Billy Graham. I really wanted to take a nap, but I guess I'll go see Billy Graham. And we spent about an hour with Reverend Graham, and you could tell that it was about time for us to go. 9 coaches, 9 college football coaches. And he got up and he said, you men will have more of an influence on young people than I ever did. Billy Graham. So Coach says is powerful. And we need to be reminded of that as coaches. And, there's a thing out there that says, hey, man, get your kids involved in athletics. Athletics are great for kids. They build character. Get your kids involved in athletics. Athletics doesn't build character. Coaches build character. And we got to be intentional. We have to be intentional with what we do with young people. We're either going to be a transformational coach or we're going to be a transactional coach. We're going to be somebody that's going to be concerned about the scoreboard only, or we're going to be concerned about that team picture. So we've got incredible responsibility that we've been given. And just a reminder to the coaches and to encourage you to be guys that are being transformational. I've been doing this for 35 years. Coach Hitchcock started talking about how long I've been doing this. It's 35 years. And, I've always worked with either the DBs or been a defensive coordinator or a head coach. And when I'm a head coach, I usually gravitate towards the DBs. It's kind of my comfort level. And I've never had a kid 5 years out or 10 years out or 15 years out, call me on the phone and say, hey, Coach, thanks for teaching me how to backpedal. They ain't a whole lot of value in that when they get out and they're trying to be a dad and trying to be a husband and trying to be a neighbor and trying to be a leader in their community. So it's really important what we do as coaches. To the parents, I just like to say, if this is your first time going through this, it's a tough deal, man. I've been doing this, like I said, 35 years. I couldn't tell you how many times kids come to the dorm and parents are dropping their kids off for the first day of camp, and moms are bawling and dad's trying to be tough and, not show any emotion. And, you pat mom on the back, hey, we got him, no worries, I never thought another thing of it, Then my son was going to college and that changed things. He decided he was going to the University of Kentucky about 4 hours away, and I woke up out of a dead sleep about 2:30 in the morning and went down and crawled in bed with him, cried like a baby. I mean, it's a tough deal, but I'm here to tell you, hey, he's a sophomore now, and I survived. I'm still alive. He's in college. He's doing good. So encourage you guys that if you're a first-time person sending your son away, if you're trying to help them with where to go, I would say, after doing this, recruiting kids, don't tell your kid where to go. You can tell them where not to go. You can get a feel for some things that aren't good for them. So give them his options. Hey, here's the places to go. And then when you send them off, just make sure you tell them. I think a lot of times as parents, we think, oh, they know. But make sure you tell them, hey, there's nothing you can do that's going to disappoint me. Nothing you can do. We're going to love you, your mom, your dad, your grandma, whoever's that person sending them away. Hey, we love you no matter what. Okay, just understand that, because that first year is tough now, seeing it from the coaching side. That's a tough deal, being away from home and all the things that they're going to encounter. So just wanted to encourage the parents. Just some general stuff may help, may resonate with the award winners, the honorees, the people that are here. Just a couple things that we do in our program and talk about, quite a bit. How am I doing? You guys getting pretty hungry? Okay, you guys are good? Okay. One is our core values. You know, we got a set of core values, our program, and that's tell the truth, be a gentleman, love your brother. And that's something that we flesh out to our guys on a daily basis and tell them, hey, you're gonna be able to take this with you, you know, throughout your whole life, and it's going to be helpful to you. You know, we talk in telling the truth. We talk to our guys all the time about, hey, your most important ability is dependability. It's not how high you jump, you know, how fast you run. It's that you're a dependable guy. I can depend on you. And that starts with truth. I'm always going to tell you the truth. You got to tell me the truth. Your teammates got to be able to depend on you. I got to be able to depend on you. And we talked about being a gentleman. You know, a gentleman is someone that's more concerned about another person's rights than their own feelings, and more concerned about another person's feelings than their own rights. So we hit our guys all the time. You know, be gentlemen. And then be a man. You know, to be a man, if you're going to try to help a young person on their journey to manhood, you got to give them a definition of what a man is. And we've got a four-pronged definition of what a man is, and that's to resist passivity, accept responsibility, lead courageously, and work for a greater reward. And so we flesh that out and work that with our guys. And then the last deal is to love your brother. And we talked about this a lot, man. When I got the job at Murray, right decision, you know, for doing it, to go jump back into head coach. And I was at the University of Kentucky, and we were happy, but, you know, wanted to get back into head coaching, and absolutely right decision, you know, for doing it, for my family and some of those reasons. Bad timing, man, you know, with COVID and the racial tensions and all this stuff happening with our team, with our, you know, our country. But our guys, talking through the core values, you know, the kids would tell me over and over again, Coach, if the world would take on our core values, there'd be no problem. Because our love your brother is three-pronged. It's accept, protect, and serve. And the guys were like, that's what we do with our team, Coach. We accept our brother, protect our brother, serve our brother. Man, could you imagine, Coach, if the world was doing that? We wouldn't have these problems. We had no racial problems on our team. We had none, because our guys were bought into the core. And when we talk about accept, we talk all the time. Hey, guys, there's guys, different colors, different religions, different likes, dislikes, different upbringings. We're going to excel at showing respect for our teammates. That's what accept, and we're going to go beyond that. We're going to excel at showing respect. And we're going to serve them. Okay, we're going to serve them. And we're going to protect them. That's what it is. It's accept, protect, and serve. The protection of them is word and deed. We talk about word and deed. We talk about them being a part of something bigger. You got to understand, anytime what you say, what you do affects your brother. You know, the program is bigger than you. And then we're going to serve our brother. And the number one thing we're going to serve them is to hold them accountable. Because that's love. Love is not soft and cushy. It's tough. If you love your brother, you're going to hold him accountable. So that's what we preach to our guys as core values. The other thing is a thing we call power of the unit, team, time, and truth. So the first T for team is team above self. And that's a difficult thing, man, the society we live in. You know, the YouTube and MySpace and the selfie and, you know, everything's about me. You know, it's hard for our guys to understand, to gravitate, to do, you know, team above self. But that's what we preach. That's what we work on with our guys. The time thing. You know, we tell them every time you come out on that football field, you match your talent with effort. You know, that is truly success. That's truly success. I love to win, but I don't get mad at our guys if we lose a ball game, if they gave it everything they got. Because that's success to me. If you gave 100% of the talent, if you matched the talent you were given with effort, and you gave everything you could, and that's leading up before the game too, man, deserving victory with that preparation and in every meeting focusing, and if you did the best you could, man, we're winners, because that's really the bigger thing. It's not about winning, it's about being a winner. It's not about winning a championship, it's about being a champion and living your life that way each and every day. And then the last thing is truth. We talk about basing your actions, okay, on truth, not feelings. Basing your actions on truth, not feelings. That takes a man to do that. That takes a man to do that. That's a difficult thing to do, especially with social media and all that stuff out there. And then the last thing, and I know we're getting hungry, so the last thing I want to talk about is, you know, one of the things we talk to our guys all the time about is to watch how you're talking to yourself. You know, I ask them all the time, hey, who talks to you more than anybody? And they'll tell me, yourself, Coach. I do. I talk to myself. I'm the one that talks to me more than anybody. So we talk a lot about, good self-talk, because there's actually, I want to get into all of it, don't have time, but there's actually, medical evidence, neuroplasticity, these roads that we build in our brain, by talking to ourselves through different situations, different scenarios. So we hit our guys hard on watch how you're talking to yourself. And so we've got a little acronym, it's WART, W-A-R-T. Don't be a worry wart. All right, don't be a worry wart. Okay, the W stands for watch your focus. Okay, watch your focus. I love the story of David and Goliath. For some reason, young people don't like it. They want to be Goliath. For some reason, I've had some of our guys. I don't really like that story, Coach. I like Goliath. Goliath lost, dude. Okay, he lost. But I love that story. But I tell them, hey, watch your focus. You got to focus on the giant killer. Don't focus on the giant. That's why David won. He didn't focus on the giant. He focused on God, on the giant killer, and knew that he was with him. Okay, the A stands for accept the providence of God. No matter what it looks like, feels like, seems like, God's in control. If you're one of God's children, he is in control. So accept the providence of God. The R is replace your priorities. I'm a ball coach. Talk to the coaches about that a little bit, in the beginning. That's where I get out of whack. If I focus on that scoreboard, man, my energy and time and everything I do gets off that team picture. But if you replace your priorities, that anxiety, that depression, the things that, that self-talk that's bad, you got a chance to not get in those dark places that we can get in as people. And the T is today prevails. Today prevails. And, there's kind of a thing out there with, one of the country songs, live like you were dying. And I hit our guys on hard, guys. Hey, it's not that. Don't do that. Don't go there. Don't go with today prevails and live like you were dying. So I'm going to do all these, crazy things. No, don't do that. Live like you're going to live forever. That's how the today prevails should be. Live like you're going to live forever. Live like you're immortal. Live like you're immortal. That's how you want to live. There was a general in the Civil War, and he would go out with his men. His name was Stonewall Jackson, Thomas Stonewall Jackson. And I didn't realize this, but back then they had newspaper reporters, and he would go out with his men, stand right out there in the line of fire, and bark out orders. Most of them would be on their horse and be back away from the fray, telling the dudes what to go do, but not this guy. He was right out in the middle of it. And I didn't realize, but there was newspaper reporters, and some guy said, hey, we found out about this crazy guy. We got to go find out what makes this guy tick. And so they went out and met Thomas Jackson, and they said, hey, man, how can you just stand out here with bullets going around you all the time and barking out orders? And, aren't you afraid you're going to get hit? You're going to die? And he said, no, I'm immortal. And the guy said, no, man, you're not immortal. You get hit with one of those bullets, you're going to die just like the rest of them. He said, no, I'm immortal to the moment that God's purpose for my life is complete. And that's how we should live our life. That's how the T in the worry wart should be applied. Is I'm going to live my life as if I'm immortal, and that today prevails. So, hey, awesome to see so many people. Congratulations to all the award winners. Congratulations to all the people that were nominated. Have gratitude for what you've been given. Make sure you're thanking people. We're all somewhere because we're standing on the shoulders of somebody else, and gratitude is it's a powerful emotion, but it's not very durable. So we got to keep reminding ourselves of how grateful we are for all the people in our lives, all the people that helped us. So thank you for asking me to come speak. Thank you for your time. And do I dismiss them to dinner, or is there somebody coming up here giving? Okay, you're giving directions, so we don't just have a mad scrum. The guys that made all county and all conference, they'd beat everybody up there. So, all right, thank you.
And that was
once again, we'd like to thank Coach Hood for taking the time out of his schedule to come up to Ashtabula. So once again, thank you for your time and words. Just a couple announcements from the kitchen crew, so you'll ask that we just stay seated. We'll be dismissed by tables, so they'll be coming around to dismiss you. Any of our 2021 inductees that did not get one of the inserts from the Star Beacon, Mark Andrews will be up here in the front. So your inductees, you can come up and grab one of those if you did not get one. And we will get ready for dinner, correct, George? Okay, we'll be walking around to dismiss some tables. Thank you.
All right, that was head coach of Murray State, Dean Hood, giving, as he's the guest speaker. He's really had a phenomenal career as well, something to be very proud of from here in Ashtabula. Head coach of a Division I football team right now. He's been with Kentucky and quite a few other schools. Some of the things we wanted to push out there tonight, I want to give you guys a heads up on who some of the Robert L. Weiss scholarship candidates are. I'm going to give you guys just a quick heads up on what that is. The Robert L. Whisey, I think it's Whisey, and pardon me if I'm mistakenly or not saying this correct. The Robert L. Whisey Memorial Scholarship in the amount of $2,000 is giving in the memory of an outstanding athlete, scholar, and citizen. Bob Whisey excelled in football, basketball, baseball, track, and tennis. In high school, he was all-state in both football and basketball. He was an equally exceptional student. He went to the University of Michigan, where he excelled academically while playing football, basketball, and baseball. He made an All-American team in football, went on to play professionally for the Detroit Lions. In his senior year, Bob was chosen as the top scholar athlete, not just for the University of Michigan, but for the entire Big Ten Conference. This is the model that they follow in selecting the recipient of the Robert L. Whisey Memorial Scholarship. This year's candidates are Gavin Juadenis from Geneva High School.
Edgewood Warriors' own Troy Peterson.
Lakeside Dragon Alec Raffa.
Let's see. Conneaut High School's Joseph Montana Daniel Bowen. Sorry about that.
PV's Andrew Root.
Let's see. St. John High School's Tyler Cathcart.
From Grand Valley High School, CJ Samsa.
From Jefferson Area High School, Cole Pulowski.
And those are the candidates for the Robert L. Whisey Scholarship. A couple other scholarships that are going to be given out today. The Robert M. Herpe Memorial Scholarship. Robert M. Herpe Memorial Scholarship was established in 1996 to honor the memory of Coach Herpe. Coach Herpe was the head coach of the Geneva Eagles for 27 years. He also coached junior high basketball, varsity girls basketball, and girls softball. This is a $1,000 scholarship that is being awarded to the Ashtabula County Touchdown Club candidates to further their education. The recipient is chosen based on academics, athletic achievements, and school and community involvement.
All right, an additional scholarship, the Warren G. Andrews Memorial Scholarship. In 1970, Warren G. Andrews and several other Ashtabula County football enthusiasts formed the Ashtabula County Touchdown Club. He served as the club's first president. In 2004, he was honored for his contributions to Ashtabula County football by being selected as a member of the inaugural class of inductees into the Ashtabula County Football Hall of Fame. Following his death in 1999, the Andrews family sponsored an award for Ashtabula County Football Coach of the Year. The Coach of the Year award was presented for several years. In 2007, the Andrews family decided to create a scholarship fund to annually acknowledge an Ashtabula County scholar athlete who had excelled on the football field, in the classroom, and in their community. Each year, the award of $1,500 is given to the scholar athlete who has demonstrated achievement in all of these equally important areas. The Warren G. Andrews family.
All right. The East Ashtabula Educational Assistant Corporation Scholarship. The East Ashtabula Club, known as the East Ashtabula Sportsman Club began in 1928. Since its inception, the EAC has been a very generous contributor to numerous sports teams and sports-affiliated organizations in Ashtabula area. In 2004, the EAC, the East Ashtabula Educational Assistance Corporation, was created for the purpose of promoting the educational endeavors of students from the local high school districts by awarding financial scholarships. Beginning in 2011, the EAC created a scholarship award given to an Ashtabula County Scholar Athlete chosen by the selection committee of the Ashtabula County Touchdown Club. The EAC scholarship of $1,000 is presented each year to the annual Ashtabula County Touchdown at the annual Ashtabula County Touchdown Club Awards dinner.
The John D. Buzzkirk Memorial Scholarship. Thank you, Sammy. The John D. Buzzkirk Memorial Scholarship was established in 2017 to honor the memory of Coach Buzz. The scholarship is in memory of John D. Buzzkirk, who died from complications of leukemia on January 10, 2009. He was 33 years old. He was a 1993 St. John grad. He played football at St. John and was a quote-unquote true herald, and went on to play football and graduate from Gettysburg College in 1997. He came back to Ashtabula to teach and coach, and he had a passion for coaching and teaching young people. During his tenure, he served as head football coach for St. John and Harvey High Schools and was fondly known as Coach Buzz by his players. Recipients of the Buzzkirk Award from 2020, David DeSalvatore of St. John. 2019 was Logan Giddings of Pymatuming Valley. 2018 was John Appleby of Conneaut. And 2017 was Matt Leha. Thank you, Sammy, from Edgewood High School.
Lilia.
We're getting corrected no matter what.
All right, we're just getting ready to start here. Before we do, I just want to let you know that there are a couple other scholarships being given out, and that's the William H. Phillips Memorial Scholarship. This is an athletic scholarship. He was a highly respected teacher and coach in the Jefferson
once again,
area
to get
city
started
schools.
here with our awards presentation, we'd like to first, once again, let's thank the Welton family and Andrews Party Center for an outstanding meal. I'm going to kick off the awards portion of this ceremony by handing out our first award. Our first award is the Ashtabula County Touchdown Club Nick Delagianis Courageous Sports Award. This award is offered to any individual in your football programs that have displayed the following characteristics: have overcome adversity throughout the season, have displayed tremendous courage overcoming overwhelming odds, and has done all without expectation of recognition for their outstanding character. This year's recipient, as nominated by their head coach, simply put, since I arrived at Lakeside High School, this young man has worked, fought, and earned everything he has achieved. With a father who's had to endure brain surgery due to a stroke, this young man has been to more doctor's appointments and hospital visits than most adults I know. With his mom working at ACMC as a full-time nurse, this young man was tasked to help care for his father. It's going to be difficult to do during a very demanding fall sports season. But he did this, which just like being pressure-packed in the pocket, without blinking an eye, and stepped up and made a play. He offered help at home as much as he could. He worked out a schedule with his mom around school to practice and make sure that he would be at all of his things he needed for his mom and his dad. This young man is no stranger to adversity. After playing tackle and tight end in 8th grade, he moved to quarterback as a freshman. From there, he was competing for the starting spot until he broke his foot, losing an entire year of development. Realignment surgery would require a long recovery, time-throbbing development for him. After he fully recovered and got cleared 3 days before camp, this young man came back as a sophomore to take the starting quarterback position. As a junior, after a slow start, he lost his starting quarterback job, but instead of pouting or quitting, he came to me and asked, "Coach, what can I help us do to win?" We moved him to defensive end and tight end for the last 5 games and finished with a very productive season. As I spoke above, this young man has been battling through adversity since I have met him. He had his best year this past season as quarterback. He was the county's most efficient quarterback and arguably the best county's team. He is now the all-time leader in passing at Lakeside High School. An amazing season for him and our program. He has persevered and excelled when most would have given up or even quit. He has never missed. He has never wavered. This year's 2021 Nick Delagianis Courageous Sports Award winner from Lakeside High School, Garrett Siebenek. Once again, let's give Garrett a nice round of applause.
That was the Nick
Next up, and I'll adjust the mic,
Delagianis Courageous
our
Sports
Hall of
Award
Fame
given to Garrett
Committee
Siebenek.
leader, Mr. Chris Larrick.
That's good. We're going to ask the Hall of Famers to come up and take seats. We have the plaques, your plaques on the seats so that we don't have to go through the process of handing them out. So if the Hall of Famers will come up to the dais here, we'll go from there. No plaque.
Getting ready for the Hall of Fame presentation now. This is your 2021 Ashtabula County Touchdown Club Banquet Awards Hall of Fame class. Presented by Chris Larrick.
Although the Ashtabula County Touchdown Club
years. So I know how hard we pushed you guys to get to where you're at. So congratulations for your awards. I have many people to thank for getting this award. I want to begin with, first of all, my mother, who passed away like 5 years ago. She raised 3 boys, Vince, Dave, and myself. She also, I know she would be very proud today because I watched her when Dave, 13 years ago, was nominated and inducted into the Hall of Fame. And she was so proud then, so I know she'd be proud now. Athletics began in my family at a very early age. My brother Vince was 8 years old, and he was going to try out for Little League. Well, what happened was my Uncle Herm showed up at our back door, and he goes, "Vince, get your glove. We're going down Little League to try out for baseball." So it was a matter of 400 people, 400 boys signed up for Little League at the time. Only 100 made it. Well, he was one of those hundreds that made it. Then eventually, my mother would go to almost every game. I mean, all the way through for 15 years. She went to all my games, all my brother Vince's games, all Dave's games. And she took us, 2 little animals, Dave and myself. We'd run all over the field, Little League fields everywhere while Vince was playing. And eventually, after a couple, we were only like 3 and 4 years old. But a couple years later, we started watching the games and got interested. And we got into, I went into Little League. A year later, Dave came into Little League. Okay, so that's how we got started with athletics in our family. And finally, Vince, who was our leader, I guess you'd say, got interested in football. I mean, parochial league was starting. That's a Catholic league. And he signed up and made a team. And every day he'd go to practice. He'd ride his bicycle 2 miles to practice and back every day with me on the crossbar. So I made sure, and I loved it. I went to every practice, brought my pee-wee football and played on the sidelines while he was riding the bike and while he was practicing. And we'd ride home. Well, one day he thought, well, I got to shake this guy. So he snuck out of the house, went to the garage, quietly opened up the door, and there I was standing there with his bike. "Come on, Vince, we're going to miss practice if you don't hurry up." So off we went. And I think he gave up then. He realized that, hey, I'm not going to be able to shake this guy. So this is the way it's going to be. And so thanks, Vince, for being our role model. And thank Dave for all the times that we played football in the backyards, tackle football. And then we went to Little League and played Little League. We were always doing something. I can throw out a few other things like playing basketball in the living room. And Dave will remember what that was all about. I'm not going to go any further with that one. So that's the way it was. And in fact, in our backyard, we had Denny Allen, Dave, myself. That's 3 Hall of Famers playing tackle football in the backyard. A lot of bruises went on back there, a lot of bumps and bruises. Okay. Now, as they go on, no one has any success without people around them, their friends, their players that they play with. And it's a matter of, I want to mention some of these people, my coaches, but some of the seniors that I graduated with, Bob Brace, Ken Petrocello, Joe Bernardo, Jim DeGeorge, Paul Fuller, Bob Tomlinson, Donnie Avino, and Joe Rose. These were a bunch of people that stuck with it the whole year, or the whole time. We started as freshmen, went all the way through to seniors, and finally, as seniors, we had a pretty darn good team after we took a lot of bumps and bruises before that. We had, being a small school, you usually don't have enough players in one class. So we had, luckily, a good junior class. We had players like Bobby Mackey, Don Condon, Norm Domenico, Bob Sposito, Bob DeMay, not with us, and Joan Corvia. Anyways, they helped us out. They filled in what we needed. And also another sophomore, Ron Severino, was a very good player. He's in the Hall of Fame also. Now, special thanks to my wife, Georgia, for the late dinners, because I coached for many years, all the way through school, like 28 years of coaching football. She always had the dinner on the table when I got there, and she allowed me to play sports. I played basketball and softball till I was in my 40s. So I was gone quite a bit. And I have 2 great children, Scott and Kristen. Scott was a good football player. He also was a very good baseball player and still playing softball now into his 40s. And Kristen, she was an excellent basketball player, volleyball player, and softball player. And also a thanks to Kristen for my grandson, Cole. He's a real spitfire. We love to have him around. Okay, one more thing in closing. I don't want to take too much time up here. This is a final little memory I had as a freshman. Our season was over. We didn't have a whole lot of equipment at St. John's. So we had to borrow some of the equipment from the junior high schools or the elementary schools so we could play our freshman games. Well, our season was over. We turned all our stuff in. So we had to, the varsity coaches got a big decision, or a big brainstorm that let's dress 6 freshmen. We got 6 extra uniforms. Let's dress 6 freshmen for the varsity game. So I was one of those freshmen. So we're in there scrambling, getting uniforms before the game. And I finally said, geez, I didn't get my helmet yet. So I went into the equipment room and looked, there was 1 helmet left. I said, at least I got a helmet. So I went over and picked it up, and I could spin it around my head. It was so big, just wrapped around my head. And I went, oh my gosh. And I remember going out onto the field, I had to hold onto the face mask so my helmet wouldn't fall off. So we got in line to catch some passes. I went out for a pass and made my cut, turned my head, but my helmet stayed straight. I'm going,